First alert forecast, we've got more humidity, we've got warm morning, we've got a heat wave that continues into this week. We're cranking temperatures up well above average. Notice it very gradually starts dipping back down later this week, still warmer than normal, but it continues to feel hotter. And that's very important because what we're factoring in is humidity. In the mornings, you see it in the form of haze and fog. You feel it in the limited cooling. You feel it in the shade when it feels even hotter than the actual temperature. Now with a couple of clouds here and there, a stray pop-up shower or storm would be possible late afternoon to evening. I do think we'll pretty much stay dry, so you might want to water some plants out there that you're worried about too. Of course, you're going to want to stay watered, stay hydrated as it feels hotter. That'll take us from 72, that warm start, to 88 at noon. High today, 95 on this Monday. Again, feeling hotter. 89 still at 8 p.m. Sunset not until closer to 9. And I do think that little stray pop-up would be possible in the evening. So let's talk about what it really feels like. Because I kept stressing in the shade for a reason. The sunshine always makes us feel about 10 degrees hotter. Well, we don't just have sun to take into account here. We do have that humidity, which means in the shade, it'll already feel like upper 80s to low 90s by lunchtime. So yeah, stick to the shade. Absolutely. We're going to need that assistance there. But that does mean it even feels like more like mid to upper 90s for much of our area in your afternoon. That'll get you closer to 99 Athens, 99 Lenore City, and Knoxville for a feels like temperature in the shade. Feeling like low to mid 90s on the plateau, feeling like mid to upper 90s at the Tennessee-Kentucky line. Yes, stay hydrated. It easily feels like 98 in Dandridge and Rutledge and Newport. So absolutely all that water is a must. Then we'll get right back into a warm, muggy morning tomorrow. Patches of fog, still mostly clear. Still mostly dry. All right, we could get a stray pop-up midday tomorrow. I do think we have a better shot at seeing a stray storm develop tomorrow afternoon in our higher elevations. It's very limited because we don't have a lot of movement. All we have is that heat and that humidity taking over for now. I do think tomorrow will be even warmer. So mid 90s Monday, still low 70s in the morning. Tuesday will be around 90 at noon. Tuesday's high 98. Now we're 10 degrees above average, of course. Again, always try to give you a heads up when it's going to feel a lot hotter. Well, that does mean by noon it'll already feel like it's in the upper 90s, and it can easily feel like it gets closer to low 100s by the afternoon hours for your Tuesday. So staying hydrated is a must really all week. It's just we start to at least pulse up a couple more storms the second half of the week. That helps to chip away at that heat just a bit. Of course, it's still very humid, but a few storms then start developing the second half of this week, and that will help to at least start to bring that heat back down. Again, still above average. We're just skyrocketing Monday, Tuesday, and then gradually coming back down from that. So that's very important to keep that in mind, as we'll be warming to, again, 98 on Tuesday, feeling like 100 plus, then come down to mid 90s. Morning stays stuffy. A couple afternoon storms bubbling up the second half of the week. I do think we'll start to see a few more storms this weekend into early next week. So here's the difference. You could see where the heat just very gradually tips down. Well, every day is technically above average. Even next Monday at 89 is a couple of degrees above average. But we start creating more scattered rain and storms when we look ahead to Sunday to Monday of early next week. So that is going to really continue this heat wave. Most of this 8-day forecast, basically 3 or more days of 90 degrees or greater, is a heat wave in this area. So we are definitely experiencing that in this first alert 8-day planner.